The scene flashes back to Elizabeth and General Tim, sharing a rare quiet moment in a dimly lit room. Elizabeth leans back, watching the veteran carefully. How did you all meet? My father, the architect? She pauses, brow furrowing slightly. Come to think of it, I don't even know his real name. General Tin squints his eyes, narrowing in thought as he scratches his forehead. Well, it's been too long, I guess, he says slowly. As you already know, I met your father at a bar. We didn't meet the architect until a couple years after we founded the city, when it was still an outpost, really. Once we found him, though, I'm pretty sure it was somewhere in Guatemala, if I'm not mistaken. Guatemala? Elizabeth raises an eyebrow, intrigued. Yeah, strange, huh? Tim chuckles. Tim chuckles. He's actually from North Africa, or maybe Central Africa, somewhere deep in the jungle. He's an unusual guy, that's for sure. Got thick curly hair, big bushy black beard with gray streaks now. Walks around with a little hunch because he's always lugging equipment everywhere. Tim chuckles, gesturing to his back. Last I saw him, he had an exoskeleton rig to help him with all the weight. I'm pretty sure he started integrating some of that tech into himself. Doesn't look healthy to me, but who am I to judge? Elizabeth intent Elizabeth listens intently, fascinated. Tim smirks. You know, I've caught some of the younger residents peeking through the door of his lab when one of his keepers forgot to close it. I wouldn't be surprised if that was on purpose. We have auto door closers for security, but for the life of me, I can't figure out why they don't seem to work around him. He shrugs, amused by the mystery. Anyway, Tim continues, I think I knew his real name, once, way back when. He was an odd character even then, but brilliant. We met when I was doing some work as a contractor. He needed help, and I introduced him to your father. After that, well, I guess I've only known him as the architect, but I swear there was a time I knew his real name. Elizabeth laughs, amused at Tim's frustration over his faded memory of the architect's name. It's funny seeing you stumped by something so simple, she teases. But go on. What were you two up to back then? Tim smirks, his eyes glinting with a touch of nostalgia. Oh, nothing much. Just boring contractor work. Pretty sure it has some militia group paying us to check out caves in the area. Weird place. There was this odd electrical interference everywhere. The locals thought it was mystical. Kept talking about strange dreams, shimmering lights in the forest, even demons telling them to go away. Elizabeth's interest sharpens, her casual smile shifting to a more curious look. Demons? And did anything come of it? Tim pauses, shifting slightly in his chair for a moment. He seemed almost reluctant, as if weighing what to reveal. He glances away, then clears his throat. Well, let's just say some things are best left buried. We figured out enough to know that it was better to move along, he shrugs. There was some hint of tension in his voice, a small crack in his usual stoicism that only fuels Elizabeth's curiosity.